Hello. Today, let's look at the process of strategic management. Fundamentally, I have a diagram which explains the process of strategic management. So this is the diagram for the process of strategic management: establishment of the strategic intent, formulation of strategies, implementation of strategies, and the fourth one, strategic evaluation and strategic control, which can be looked at it together. So let's talk of each of these phases, or the processes or steps or stages, as you can call them, because the companies have to go through these phases for when they are implementing and formulating and implementing their strategies. So the first one is the establishment of the strategic intent. This stage involves setting up the stretch targets which are difficult to achieve. And it was first propounded by Gary Hamel and C.K. Prahlad, where they said that we should have a strategic intent. We should have a clear vision, mission, and our strategies and our goals have to be based on that vision and mission, which are difficult to reach. It should be motivating and challenging for the employees to reach those goals and targets. Right? It emphasizes the requirement for taking the external environment very seriously and seeing what we have to be achieved over there, rather than looking at goals from the perspective of saying what resources we have. It is not the resources that we have which determines the goals of the company. It is what has to be achieved in the market that has to be given more importance. Okay? So based on that, we have to have a very clear strategic intent. What is our goals that we want to achieve in the market based on the vision and mission, which will keep our company relevant, which will keep our company competitive. So those kinds of ideas have to be very clear in our mind. Then only we can go about the next stages of the strategy formulation or the strategic process. The first one is the strategic intent, where we have to be clear about what is required of us in the market, what the competitors are doing, what is required of us, how we can, then we will have to find out very innovative and creative ways of achieving that. Once our strategic intent is clear, then we are ready to move on to the second stage of the formulation of strategies. That is the formulation of strategies. This stage, as the name suggests, is about actually clarifying what our strategies are and really writing it down in very good clarity as to what our strategies are. This is fundamentally done by the process of SWOT analysis: strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and challenges. This is the fundamental model that enables us to formulate strategies. The strengths and weaknesses are internal to the organization, and opportunities and challenges are external to the organization in the market. So there has to be a match between the strengths and weaknesses of the company and the opportunities and challenges. The strengths have to match with the opportunity. Right? So then once the SWOT analysis is clear, then we are in a position to write down our strategies, make clear our strategies in all the levels. Right? So that is the fundamental way we have to go about formulation of our strategy. The next phase of the strategy management process is the implementation of the strategy. As the name suggests, this is the stage in which we are going to put the strategies into action. Without this step, the strategies remain on paper. Right? The strategies have been formulated and made on the paper. The next phase is the implementation of the strategies, where the strategies have to be put into action. Right? It is a very challenging step where the entire organization is strongly involved. In the formulation of the strategies, mainly the top management would be involved. The implementation of the strategies, the entire organization is involved. It's a very challenging step in the fact that we have to make it clear what our strategy is. Our communication has to be clear. We have to have the good coordination, and then only we can implement our strategy. So strategic implementation is done through different levels, different aspects, different activities. One, we can say project implementation. Right. Next is procedural implementation. We have to be clear about how we are going to implement each strategy, procedural implementation. Then there is an element of structural implementation. We'll have to make structural changes in the organization to implement our strategies, structural implementation. Then there is the aspect of behavioral implementation. That is what kind of a culture we want in the organization, what kind of a discipline and communication structures we want in our organization so that our strategies can be implemented. So we have project implementation where we have to take new projects so that our strategies can be implemented. We have to have procedural implementation where we have to be very clear step by step. We have to write down how each activity has to be carried out. Then we have the structural implementation where we have to make structural changes to the organization. Then we have the behavioral implementation where we have to look at the culture and the communication and the leadership styles in the organization which will enable us to implement our strategies. And we have the functional and operational level implementation where we have to look at marketing, finance, HR, and other activities of business, how they are supporting our strategy. What kind of activities? They are also called as strategy, functional and operational level strategies also we call it, so that our strategies can be implemented properly. Then we have the phase of strategic evaluation and control. Strategic evaluation is the process of assessing the effectiveness of each strategy. How effective has been our strategy in reaching the goals of the organization? How effective has it been? Has it been able to really deliver the results and our goals and milestones that we have set? Has it been able to achieve it? It is a strategic evaluation. Right? And also, has the environment changing more rapidly than we have predicted? So in the light of the changing environment, are our strategies that we have formulated, are they still relevant? Any changes to be made in the way we implement our strategy? So all these things have to be looked at when we are in the evaluation phase of our strategy. And strategic control is basically the same phase. The strategy, we call it strategic evaluation and control. The strategic control is the process of putting the strategies back on the track. If there is any deviations, if there is any mismatch, we have to put it back on the track. So strategic evaluation and control go hand in hand. We assess it, we check it out if it is correct, otherwise we put it back on track. We make changes either to the formulated strategies or how we implement the strategy. So this is the strategic management process.